Hey guys, Davey here from PhoneBuff.com, and in this video we're doing a short little review on the C Pen accessory for the Samsung Galaxy S3. I know a lot of you S3 owners out there are kind of curious about the C Pen, wondering how well it works on the Galaxy S3, and also wondering if it was similar to the S Pen on the Galaxy Note. So hopefully I can answer some of those questions here in this video. But first I want to show you the pen itself. At first glance you can see, it looks just like your ordinary pen. Of course we have the Samsung logo here on the little clip. And at the tip, of course, we don't have ink, we have a capacitive stylus. And unlike your ordinary capacitive stylus, it's not, fat and squishy. It's actually, rather thin and hard, so, I can't really squish this guy in. So it's definitely going to give you more precise input than your typical capacitive stylus. Let's go ahead and, test it on the Galaxy S3. So I have S-Memo open, we'll open up a new note, and I'll just go ahead and write a little bit so you guys can kind of see how it works. So I'll write, "Hi there. This is the C Pen." So I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I wrote the hi, it looks like an N actually. I actually started it up at least over here, and it didn't register. And that's something I've noticed, since I've been using it. When I'm writing at an angle like this, using the side of the stylus, it doesn't register all the time. You kind of have to press a little bit harder for it to really get it. If you're going flat on like this, it's pretty good. You're never going to really have to actually apply some pressure. But when you do go from the side angle like this, you are going to have to. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind too, something that I've noticed, is that sometimes there's a little bit of lag when you're writing. Let's see if I could actually duplicate it. Usually, when I try to do videos like this, I can't for the life of me duplicate it, but hopefully we can. So let's go ahead and write phone buff is a phone enthusiast. Okay, it's not going to work. Anyway, you get the idea. It does work pretty well. It's definitely a lot more accurate than your typical stylus. It's a lot harder to write with those, fat, squishy ones. I could definitely feel like, I could write, smaller. So if I wanted to write like that, I can, something small, where, with the ordinary stylus, I have to write at least like that big. So oh, there you go. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but when I dotted the I right over there, it did lag a little bit. I'm glad that happened. So anyway, yeah, so sometimes there's millisecond lag. It's not that big of a deal, really, but something to keep in mind nonetheless. Overall, I do like the C Pen. I do feel like it gives you more precise input when it comes to a stylus on the Galaxy S3, and it's made specifically for the Galaxy S3. So much so that it doesn't even work with the capacitive buttons, where your typical ordinary stylus does. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Speaking of it working specifically for the Galaxy S3, let's go ahead and test it on the Galaxy Nexus here. This is a Samsung device, but as you can see, no response whatsoever from the touchscreen, where on the Galaxy S3, the C Pen works perfectly fine. It's not even just using an S-Memo. It works, everywhere, just like you would think, and definitely is really, really accurate. So that's something, I like. Kind of weird how it doesn't work with the capacitive buttons. I wish Samsung would have made it, but I think it's the way they programmed it to work as far as, with the TouchWiz software or with the screen. You get better input as a result, but at the same time, you don't get, some of the functions of being able to use the capacitive buttons, which is something that I typically like with my capacitive stylus. Let's see, what else? As far as it being like the S Pen, it is not. If you're coming from the Galaxy Note with the S Pen to the Galaxy S3 thinking the C Pen is going to give you the same experience, you're going to be disappointed, because this is a capacitive stylus. The S Pen is not. The S Pen, works on different technology. It's pressure sensitive, so you actually, push it harder, make different kind of strokes, where over here, every single time you make a stroke, it's exactly the same, because the the input's the same. So definitely not as accurate. It is, however, more comfortable to hold in the hand. Because it's like a real pen, and the size is actually pretty decent. You're not going to be like cramping up. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But anyway, that is it for me in this video. Something I want to tell you guys: I bought this guy on Amazon for about $20, so that's how much it costs. At least it costs for me online. You could probably get a better deal somewhere else. I don't know, but anyway, overall, I'd have to say, I don't think it's a must-have accessory. If you really want a stylus for your Galaxy S3, then, I would go for it. If you're going to be paying $10 for, ordinary capacitive stylus, I think it's worth to fork out an extra $10 to get the C Pen, because, it does offer you a better experience. but at the same time, you're not going to get that same, S Pen experience that, some of you guys might be expecting coming from the Galaxy Note. But thank you for watching the video. If this helped you a little bit, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Thank you.